If you struggle or have struggled with anxiety or depression, have you thought about putting up boundaries on your social media consumption? If not, you really should. Hey guys, Sarah here from Work Life Glue, where we talk about gluing work and life together one piece at a time. One piece of my life has been depression, unfortunately, but we're all about making our mess our message here on our channel, and so I have been doing this Protecting Your Peace series over the last few months, and I will link to the playlist below. But today I'm going to be talking about how to protect your peace when it comes to all things online, apps, social media, that kind of thing. This may seem kind of like a weird topic, but if you think about it, especially for like my age group, a lot of us are on our phones a lot. We're checking our Facebook, looking at Instagram, Snapchatting with friends, watching YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. And so I think it's really important to at least consider how that may be affecting you, especially if you do have a history of any kind of mental illness. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. This is something, you know, the last year or so I've really noticed with myself that things you see online do have an impact on you. Things you see can trigger thoughts, can lead you down a path of worry and stuff like that that you're trying to avoid if you are trying to protect your peace, which is what this series is all about. And if you're wondering what protecting your peace actually is, make sure you check out my introductory video, which I'll have linked below so you can know what I'm even talking about. But basically, when you have a history of mental illness, you're trying to make sure that you are staying in a state of peace. You're trying to avoid those things that really bring up negativity, because that can have a spiral effect and lead to anxiety, depression, and so on and so forth, which you're trying to avoid. So I have learned to really put up a lot of barriers in my life in all different areas, which is what that whole series is about. And so today I'm talking about how I put up boundaries when it comes to all things online. So I just thought I'd give some examples of how things you see online can lead to you not having a peaceful state. So for example, online, if you haven't noticed, on Instagram, on Facebook, on all of those different social media platforms, they know what kinds of things you buy. They know if you're a mom. They know, you know, what websites you frequent. There's cookies that like track you and know these things about you so that advertisers can come in and advertise to you. So on Facebook, for example, because I am in a lot of mommy groups, I post a lot of things related to motherhood. Facebook knows I am a mom, and a lot of times I will get articles, sponsored posts on my timeline, not pages I follow, but just things that other people might follow that are interested in the same things as me, and so it will put it out to me, and I will see that. And for example, one article I might see is like 10 things every mom should do, which may seem harmless, but I'll click on it. I'll be like, oh, I want to see what things I shouldn't be doing, and I'll click on it, and there may be things in there that I don't do. So what am I going to feel if the article says 10 things every mom should do and it's something I don't do? Well, I'm probably going to feel guilty, and that's going to lead me to think I'm not being a good enough mom, which is going to lead me to think of other things I may not be doing well, which is going to make me feel bad and wonder if I'm failing my child, and so on and so forth. So that one little seemingly harmless article has led me to start thinking negative thoughts. That's just one example. And then the even worse part is if you click on the comments, because you're already in this worrisome feeling, so maybe you're like, well, I'll click on the comments, maybe they'll say why this article is crappy, or let's just start picking at the wound when it's already open. So you'll click on the comments and it'll say, some people don't do that, I can't believe it, that's a horrible parent, and then you're gonna feel even worse. So, you know, it's best to avoid stuff like that if you can. Another example, on Instagram, maybe you're trying to lose weight, so you follow a bunch of people on Instagram who are, you know, really fit and make you think they will help motivate you to want to look like that. So you're following it, and every day you see all these people with six-pack abs and you've got this flabby stomach and you feel bad about it. If you have trouble with mental illness, And a lot of us may have the same thing, even if we don't struggle with mental illness. You're gonna see those pictures over time, and maybe they're gonna start to make you feel bad and make you not want to exercise because you're like, I'll never look like that. How does she have time to do that? She has 5 kids and she looks like that? I only have 2 kids and oh my gosh, I don't look like that. And you're just gonna start having these negative feelings. That's just another example of how social media can lead you to not feel good. And then just another example is, let's say you're on Facebook and you're trying to get out of debt and you keep seeing all these people's fancy vacations or their beautifully decorated homes or their new cars or whatever it is, and you start thinking like, oh gosh, I wish I could have that stuff, and how are they not in debt, and this and that and the other thing, and just all these comparison thoughts of how you're not good enough or you're not in the place you want to be, when you have a goal and you're proud to reach it and you're making progress, but you keep being reminded of what you don't have and what everybody else has and what you should have. Those aren't positive things that you want to be seeing when you have a goal like that. So those are just a few examples, pretty much things that I pulled straight out of my life, of things that I struggle with, my weight right now after having 2 babies, you know, trying to get out of debt, that kind of thing, and my motherhood. What mom feels perfect all the time? I don't know any. So those are just some examples of how social media can influence me to go down a path of negativity, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going to talk today about what I actually do in those situations. I tend to notice over every couple of months I start to see my Facebook be flooded with things that I don't want to see. Groups that I followed that keep popping up, you know, even daycare groups, because I'm a daycare provider. Sometimes those get really negative, and you know, sometimes when you follow different things, sometimes you just need to stop and take a step back. So what I do, I go in and I start to unfollow all those things that I'm like, you know, do I really need to see this group? Do I really need to see all the posts from that group every day? No, I'm gonna unfollow. Do I need to see that page, fitness page, every single day, every post they have? No, unfollow. I don't unlike them and I don't unfriend people, but I unfollow them so that I'm not being inundated with their messages all the time. That way, if I do want to see a motherhood post from that page, I can go to the page and see it, but I don't have to see every page that they have. So that's one thing I do a lot. I still can find it if I need it, but I don't need to be hit over the head with those messages all the time. Now, I also do this with my friends list, which, you know, may be kind of hard to do, but there are some people, maybe they're in a great part of their life and they're going on vacation all the time, and that's great. But if that's making me feel negative, I unfollow. And I can always go and check out what they're doing when I'm in a good mood, and I can prepare myself to see that. But when I'm in a bad mood, or I'm just feeling down, or maybe, you know, we didn't pay off as much debt as we wanted to, and then I'm on Facebook trying to self-medicate and just like take a breather, and I see the vacation, that's not helpful. So I try to go look at it when I'm in a good peace of mind, and then I try to avoid it any other time. So I think the unfollow thing is great. I personally would never feel offended to find out like one of my friends unfollowed me because something I was posting about, maybe they're infertile and I'm posting about my kids. Like, by all means, unfollow if that's too toxic for you to see. I totally get it. So I think it's healthy. And think of it like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when people wanted to know things about people, they had to be told or had to find it out in other ways, through gossip or through mail or through talking to that person. We aren't really designed to see so much stuff, and our brains are not really meant to filter through what's positive, what's negative, should we be seeing that, should we not. It's just a newly recent thing that social media has started to do this, and so I think it's totally healthy to unfollow whenever possible. Another thing you can do if Facebook is sending you those ads, you can go in and tell it you don't want to see more things like that. That can be a helpful tool as well, so Facebook knows like not to keep popping up motherhood articles or weight loss or whatever it is, because you don't want to see that. So something to do on the more proactive side of things is to find pages maybe with uplifting quotes and follow those. So those are the things you're seeing on a daily basis. So you might have like Bible scriptures or just like weight loss, you know, memes or something, I don't know, that make you laugh, or share the struggle of it and make you feel better when you read them, instead of just like six-pack abs that you feel like you'll never achieve. Or you can follow groups of people who are struggling with the same thing, and that can really help too. So you can unfollow things that are affecting you negatively and follow things that will fill you up in positive ways. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to know one thing you're struggling with, if you care to share, and how you can kind of protect yourself from that online and with social media, and how you're going to take steps right now, today, to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I'm here to encourage you. So just stay tuned for more Protecting Your Peace videos in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.